Good afternoon, and we've had so many wonderful speakers. You're going to figure out who's in politics and which guy is the hockey player real quick. I got to meet the Prime Minister in 1984 when he became the conservative leader. And a couple years later, he called me and he said, "Young man, my beautiful wife, Mila, wants to have this charity hockey game in Ottawa." And I said, "Of course." And I go, "What's it for?" And he said, 65 roses. Now I said, "I've heard of a lot of charities. I've never heard that name." He goes, "No, she changed the name so kids will understand it a lot easier." So I said, "Of course we'll play." So we go to Ottawa. And the game itself was wonderful because we raised a lot of money and a lot of awareness. But we were so excited to go to 24 Sussex. I'm like, this is incredible. We're going to, I guess, the biggest house in the country. And they were so nice, the family, they hosted us. And then years later, a year later, I'm playing in the Canada Cup. And those days, the East and the West was a big rivalry. And that afternoon, his chief of staff called me, Game 3. I was staying with my mom and dad, with my wife, Janet. And he said, "The Prime Minister wants to call you." And I said, "Absolutely." So the phone rang, and I turned to my dad, and I said, "You pick up the phone." So my dad picks up the phone. Now he's talking. And I'm like, "Okay." And he hands me the phone. And the Prime Minister says, obviously, "I'm wishing you good luck, son. I hope you guys do well." I hang up the phone, and my dad said, "Can you imagine? The Prime Minister of Canada called me?" And I said, "I don't think he called you." He goes, No, I talked to him." So we had to wait 15 minutes because he had to call his mother and tell her that he talked to the Prime Minister. So that's how proud of a Canadian he was. Years later, we were at a wedding, and we had the good fortune of sitting with Mila and the Prime Minister, Janet, and I. And we're at this table. David Foster was one of the great Canadians ever. And we're at this table, and all of a sudden, all these Canadians were flocking over to sit with us, which was really nice. And the Prime Minister kept looking at us saying, "You know, I'm going to sing tonight," because he loved to sing. "I'm going to sing tonight." I'm like, "Okay." And then he goes, "Young man, remember 1993? That was a great victory for the Montreal Canadiens, right?" And I said, "Sir, I was on the other team." That wasn't so great for me. He goes, No, but it was wonderful for the country." I go, "Okay, great, good for you." So as he's saying, "I want to sing tonight, I'm going to sing," Michael Bublé sits down. And I said to the Prime Minister, I said, "He's singing, you're not." I said, "Now we're even." But, you know, we're such a proud country, and I relate everything to hockey. And politics and hockey, you fight, you battle, you drive. I'm so proud to be a Canadian today, to see past Prime Ministers here, the current Prime Minister. That's what our country is all about, coming together, being friendly, helping other people, and paying respects. And Mr. Mulroney was one of the greatest Prime Ministers we've ever had. I always tell my friends around the world, whether it's funerals or weddings, we'd watch on TV and we'd always say, "You know what, we're represented by Mila and Brian Mulroney. They make our country proud." Thank you.